Fox Sports.
We are Black Horse. We are MC.
The Royals finished a 7-game road trip with a bang on Sunday, scoring a season-high 9 runs in Baltimore. Now it's back home for a 6-game homestand, and nobody has hit better at home this year than the Royals at Kauffman Stadium. A 3-game series with the Toronto Blue Jays is next on Fox Sports Kansas City. And the tarp has been rolled away and covered up, and we are ready for game 1 of 3 with the Toronto Blue Jays, with Jason Vargas pitching for the Royals and right-hander Dustin McGowan for the Toronto Blue Jays. And as we lead up to the first pitch tonight, let's go out to rivals. Here's Joe Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery.
All right, Ryan, thanks. Actually moved down to the field now, and the players are starting to warm up, and a lot of familiar faces. I know you mentioned it earlier at the top of the hour. Chris Getz is called up and in the lineup. Melky Cabrera, Kevin Seitzer, the hitting coach, and John Gibbons, the manager, knows plenty about his former team, the Royals.
Last year and then this year I looked on the schedule and see where we're coming, because I've got a lot of fond memories of this place and a lot of great friends, and it's really good to see what they put together here. When I was here, you could kind of see it coming. A lot of young kids on the verge, and they put together the good solid organization. Now they're starting to reap the benefits from it.
Well, and John Gibbons saying that his pitchers need to match what the Royals pitchers do on the mound, and we know how good Jason Vargas has been. Pitching has been a struggle for Toronto, but he says if they can get the pitching going, their offense will take over, and that is their strong suit. First pitch on a chilly night is coming up next.
Kansas City Chevy dealer. It's Chevy Truck Month. Visit your Kansas City Chevy dealers. By the Missouri Lottery. Try the Missouri Lottery's new Lucky Sevens playbook. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. John Gibbons, what a breath of fresh air he is. This is his, and there he is waving at HUD up here in the booth. It is his second year in his second tour as manager of the Blue Jays and his 7th overall. And the Blue Jays come in tonight with a record of 12-13, just off a 2-4 homestand against the Orioles and the Red Sox. And here is his starting lineup tonight with a lot of firepower in it.
Got to get him on.
Got to get them on to get them over, but you know what? These guys have one swing, get them in power. But one thing that could cut through that is precision-like pitching, and that's what they'll be facing in Vargas. Reyes has come back from that hamstring injury. They're hoping he can be the guy. Chris Getz, how about Getzy getting his first start this year here at the K?
And they will face Jason Vargas, who comes out to the mound with no long sleeves underneath his jersey on a very cool, damp night in Kansas City.
Didn't have him on in Detroit either when it was 30 degrees.
Second in the league in ERA. 5 starts, all quality starts. His career ERA is 3.31 here at Kauffman Stadium, and that made him attractive to the Royals during the offseason. But this year, his ERA at Kauffman Stadium is 0.60. That's the best home ERA in the American League.
Let's go around the horn, brought to you by your Midwest Ford dealers. All right, look at Hosmer, Escobar, and Gordon. These guys are Iron Men. That's right, all 25 games so far this year. But if you're a Blue Jay, don't hit it at them. You could be in big trouble if you try to aim at those guys. They'll catch that ball and you'll be out.
And our umpiring crew, and they will not get a break in between innings to go into the dugout or the clubhouse or warm up. So James Hoy behind the plate, Mark Wegner at first, John Tumpane is at second, and Bob Davidson, the crew chief.
There's Bob. It's a good thing he's got that hat on because he's got no hair at all on top of that head.
I'm so glad I know that. So all the umpires with the heavy jackets and the gloves on. Now we understand why the Royals were on the road, that the weather was just perfect here in Kansas City. We had some cool weather in Cleveland, and all things considered, it was a cool weekend in Baltimore. And now here we are right in the 50s with rain all day and a crosswind right now, strong from left to right. So while the Blue Jays have a lot of firepower in their lineup, it is not a good night to hit for power.
Not particular either if you're coming off a hamstring injury like Reyes has.
So he goes after the very first pitch, and Mike Moustakas will bring it down. 1 pitch, 1 away. Remember the last time we saw Reyes, Hud, he had that awkward slide into second base, and we thought he had broken his ankle. It was just a severe sprain, and he was able to come back from it late last year. Scary, scary injury.
Yeah, it was ugly.
And now former Royal Melky Cabrera, and man, what a beginning he's had to this season. He has hit safely in 24 of the first 25 games. No player in Blue Jays history has done that. And with 1 hit in this series, he will set a team record for hits in the months of March and April.
He's got it going again. Uses the whole field. It's got a little pop.
One ball, 1 strike. Melky in 2011 here playing for the Royals set several career highs. And he hits it right to Escobar at short. So he hit it hard, but that's what Hud was talking about. Hitting it into the Royals defense is usually not a good thing. And Vargas has 2 down on just 4 pitches. 46 degrees. That wind out of the northwest at 11 miles per hour, so it feels much cooler than 46. And the fans are bundled up accordingly, even with that little girl's got her eye black on. So she's ready for anything in the sky that would cause some glare.
She's ready. I like it. Vargas, though, weather doesn't bother him. He got no sleeves.
Jose Bautista, 7 home runs. That's 3rd in the league. And he has walked more than any hitter in the American League, 27 times already. Oof. And that's blasted to left field, and Toronto takes a 1-0 lead.
That's only his 2nd hit now in 11 at bats. against Vargas, and both of them are homers.
So if you hit it like that and you don't allow the wind to be a factor, you can drive it out of the ballpark tonight.
Yeah, and really, those are the only pitches that get Vargas in trouble. The runs he's given up are home runs, and they're elevated usually on that outer half. Fourth home run given up to a righty.
That cracked his bat, and Alex comes up and slides on the wet grass. So it's an 8-pitch inning as Vargas faces 4, allows the home run to Bautista, and the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. Baltimore, and finished strong on Sunday afternoon as they scored a season high 9 runs and tied a season high with 13 hits, hoping that carries over to this homestand against the Blue Jays and then the Tigers.
See if Aoki can pick it up again, man. This guy, he leads the American League at home average at 441. Nice to see him get on base. Butler, he's right there. Alex, he's 7th in the league in average with runners in scoring position at 400. See if he can knock him in.
Right-hander Dustin McGowan, and as you watch him warm up, or at least throw that last pitch, you would think with that smooth delivery that he would have no injuries at all involving his arm. And it just goes to show you that there is no perfect delivery because he's had nothing but injuries since becoming a big leaguer, and we'll talk a little bit more about that after we check out the Blue Jays defensively tonight.
Yep. They have made the least amount of errors in all of baseball. Just 8. Pretty good. Chris Getz, second baseman. First start with the Blue Jays right here at the K.
Strike 2, Nori Aoki, who for the most part has had a bad time on the road this year, but finished strong in the Baltimore series. He had 6 hits and scored 3 times. And Getz will be tested right away, and he gets Aoki by a step. So it appears that both teams tonight, Hud, are coming out swinging.
They're hacking. Chris Getz happy that ball came to him like that, so that kind of get him loose and say, all right, I'm in the game. But the young Dustin McGowan, 6'3", 220, got a 91 to 97 mile an hour fastball. Slider, power curve, decent changeup. He can bring the heat. Maybe he's brung a little too much heat, or brought too much heat. What's the proper English for that?
I think brought.
Because he said that he's been running out of gas.
Up into the mist. Encarnacion, and he didn't read it. So that's a break for Infante. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And the fact that it's twilight and the clouds out there, time of night where you can lose a ball. So he took his eye off it, and then we looked down to see where he was, and by that time he's lost it. Also, there's a little bit of misty rain in the area. See, he looked down, and that was it. It's all it takes on a night like this, or at this particular time of night.
That's a scary pitch considering what happened to Infante during the first homestand. And what a game he had on Sunday at Baltimore, tying a career high with 6 RBIs, driving in 6 of the 9 Royals runs. Becoming the 3rd Royals second baseman in history with that many RBIs in one game. And he hits a soft liner out into right center field. You can see the wind really working on that ball as it drove Rasmus into right center, and 2 down for McGowan in the first inning.
Could help some left-handed batters. You can see that wind here at the K blowing straight out if you're a lefty.
McGowan now 32 years old. He has only been averaging about 4 1/3 innings per start and about 79 pitches per start. At the knees for a strike at 94 miles an hour. And 0-1 on Eric Hosmer, who was on base 12 times during the trip and scored 6 runs. 0-2.
Yeah, this young man's, I call him young, 32. He's still young. He's failed to go 5 innings in 3 of his last 4 starts, so he's struggled. So if you get some runners on, might be able to rattle his confidence a little.
Drafted out of high school by the Blue Jays 14 years ago. Off the plate and over McGowan. So gets tested again, and he gets Hosmer. So good plays by Getz against Aoki and Hosmer. And the Royals are down in order in the bottom of the first. So using hashtag KC fan photo for a chance to have it shown in tonight's game broadcast, brought to you by AT&T. Ball 1 to Deoner Navarro. Vargas allowed a home run to Jose Bautista in the top of the first inning. Navarro, Francisco, and Laurie here in the second. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blue Jays came out swinging in the first. Reyes swung at the first pitch. Cabrera swung at the third pitch. Bautista swung at the third pitch. And Encarnacion swung at the first pitch. That's pretty typical, isn't it, Hud? On a cold night, guys don't want to be standing at the plate very long.
No, you know, it's a start of a 3-game series. There's nowhere to go. I mean, spring training, you have guys first ball hacking, get the game over quickly, but I think they know Vargas throws strikes. And that's what they're doing. They're saying, all right, he's going to come right at you. Doesn't walk many guys. Be ready to hit. It's probably their hitting meeting. A little more detail than that, I'm sure, but that's the basic gist. There's so many scouting reports now, Ryan. I mean, they got everything on a guy. You know, you could you could be in a meeting for 30, 40 minutes going over every little detail, but that's paralysis by analysis. Guy throws strikes, be hacking. Be ready to go, boys. Go get him.
Full count on Navarro. And he hits a base hit into left center field, cut off by Dyson. Navarro does not run well, so that's a single. And the Blue Jays' second hit.
Okay, obviously the defense is going to have some issues with the water. So it'll be a slippery rock when you pick it up, especially Dyson. See how it skips, and there's that water flying off of it. Could affect some throws.
Juan Francisco. I remember this guy in Atlanta last year, and the ball was flying out of Turner Field. This guy had a couple of home runs in that series. And under the description of a player that does not get cheated and is trying to lay down a bunt, you might see a picture of Juan Francisco. When he swings, he is 100%.
And if he wants to bunt, let him bunt.
Vargas ahead, no balls, 2 strikes.
Because a guy with that kind of power, you know, he can add 2 runs with 1 swing. So if you want him to push a bunt, let him do it. They obviously are. Escobar is playing him to pull, and he's the only guy on the left side of the infield.
Very close, but outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Francisco's 0 for 6 so far early this year against lefties.
And he got that call. So he just missed the outside edge. James Hoy gives him the pitch over the inside edge, and Vargas has his first strikeout.
Okay, going to work. Good spot down low. Left-handed batters against Vargas so far in 5 starts. 269 average, no homers. Righties 190, 4 homers now. So they're not hitting for, righties aren't hitting for much average, but those are the guys that are hitting them out of the park. And 63% of the runs scored off of Vargas is because of the long ball.
Brett Lawrie. Don't want to pay too much attention to his batting average, which is just 179. And he reaches out and hooks it into left field. So he has a base hit with 1 out. And the Blue Jays have 2 on with 1 out. A 179 batting average for Lawrie, but he leads the team in RBIs. So the Blue Jays continue to be aggressive with Vargas in the first couple of innings.
Think it has anything to do with Kevin Seitzer being their hitting coach? So far, the early success they've had against Vargas.
There he is in his first year as Blue Jays hitting coach, and reunited with John Gibbons. They were both part of the Royals coaching staff. Strike 2, Colby Rasmus. Blue Jays, like the Royals, they had a day game on Sunday. They were at home playing the Red Sox, and they had an off day yesterday just like the Royals. So Kevin got a chance to fly back to Kansas City, got home very late Sunday, and had the off day in his own house with his wife Beth. 0-2. Rasmus off to a slow start, hitting at just 188, and strikeouts have been a big problem for him. He's already struck out 30 times.
You know, I thought Eric Hosmer held his hands out away from his body. Check out Rasmus. I mean, he almost has both arms fully extended. Kind of an awkward beginning.
On the ground to Hosmer. He'll go down to second. Close play and a dangerous throw. And Laurie with a hard slide into Escobar. So Navarro goes to third, and Rasmus is at first with 2 down.
What an arm. That's a special gift that he has to go along with his soft gloves, great hands, is that throwing arm. That's incredible. I mean, a lot of first basemen, they're going to take it out at first base on that. But since he can throw the heck out of the ball, man, he said, I'm going to get him in case the next guy gets a base hit.
And now Chris Getz, who started the year at AAA Buffalo and was called up before tonight's game. Those are his numbers last year with the Royals. He was here from 2010 to 2013, and what hurt him as much as anything else, 5 trips to the disabled list during that time. Oh, 0-2.
Still wearing royal blue, though. You call that's royal blue, isn't it? That's Blue Jay blue, but
yeah, I don't know if they refer to it as royal blue.
No, they don't, but
.382 on base percentage and 6 stolen bases at AAA Buffalo. Cracked his bat. It gets by the mound, and Infante bare hands didn't get him. A run scores. Hosmer immediately looked into the first base dugout, and I don't know if that was some sort of non-verbal sign that Ned Yost should come out and talk to Mark Wegner, the first base umpire, about that. But he will.
Heck, the way Chris Getz is going, making those 2 nice plays early in that first inning, and now a little jam shot, broken bat. There's a thumbs up, means, hey, look, we might have something here. Had Getz touched the front part of the base, he might have beaten it. Look where he steps. He steps on top of the base. You get that front part of that bag, you're going to get that, especially now with the replays going.
And remember, what they'll be looking at New York at the command center is when the ball hit the glove. It's not when the ball enters the glove, but when the ball impacts the glove, so long as Eric Hosmer maintains control of it. And from the second angle we just had, it appeared that it was in the webbing a few frames before Getz's foot hit the bag.
Would you agree that if he hits the front part
Yes.
of the base?
It's been a while since the Royals have had a challenge, almost 2 weeks. And the headsets are off. And the call will be reversed. So a heads-up play by Hosmer. Heads-up play by Bill Duplessis in the Royals command center. And instead of a base hit and an RBI, Chris Getz is out.
Let's not forget about Infante. He did the hard work. Nice play. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later today's ball game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
I wish you could see the hand gestures and the reading stance that is involved with a Rex Hudler reading of a promo. It's really only a fraction of the experience to hear the audio over the air. Anyway, Billy Butler leads off the second inning. Drove in 3 during the road trip. One ball, one strike.
Can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
No, you really
Ryan.
can't. You really can't.
It's fun.
Even if you're just reading some script.
How many people would love to be up here in this seat reading those scripts? They might get excited too. Those folks, man, I credit them. Way to come out and root for your Royals tonight.
One and two as McGowan went right after Billy with a fastball at 94. Billy has had a terrible time against the Blue Jays for whatever reason. Last year the Blue Jays held him to 1 for 18. And he is 2 for his last 46 against Toronto, and he takes care of that as a new season and a new series begins. Now 1 for his last 1 against the Blue Jays.
Did you say 2 for 46?
2 for his last 46 going into that at bat over the last 2 years.
That's hard for Billy Butler to do that.
Well, I'm sure there was quite a few hard hit outs mixed in there, but not many hits. And now Alex, he drove in 5 during the trip, and second on the team with 14 driven in. High for ball 1. One ball, one strike. Very rare today to see no shift at all with a hitter at the plate. 1 and 2.
Fans, in just 2 days, you can cheer on Gold Glove winner Alex Gordon in his special fan section, as Gordo Nation is back this season for Thursday home games. Get this new limited edition Gordo Nation t-shirt and seat near Alex in left field for just $35. Join your fellow Royals fans and support all-star left fielder Alex Gordon. Get your tickets now at Royals.com/Gordo Nation or by calling 1-800-6-ROYALS.
Pulled into the seats. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now you've got all your Gordo Nation gear. You got the t-shirt. Now what about that cardboard cutout?
That's my own prop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Alex. But that's a pretty cool t-shirt though, folks. Look at that.
But in the picture of Alex during the promo, there was that cardboard cutout. Can fans get a hold of those as well?
You know, I don't have a lot of knowledge.
It's really hard to come across a good Alex Gordon cardboard cutout these days, you know.
Yeah, you know, I'm not real privy to that, but I can show it to the folks.
Yeah, you broke it already. Yeah.
Well, look, there it is. Who wants to be Alex Gordon? I wouldn't mind.
Two and 2.
You know, I got a call today from a radio station in Lincoln. Wanted to do a little interview. And, you know, with all the news about the stuff in sports and the basketball and the commissioner and all that stuff, kind of got pushed off. So I texted the guy back and I said, hey, look, you want to talk to me tomorrow because Alex might hit for the cycle tonight. You're going to want to talk to me. No, not putting no pressure. Not putting any pressure on Alex. But you never know what you're going to see at a baseball game.
How could you hardly be putting pressure on a guy when you predict he's going to be hitting for the cycle? I mean, that's not pressure at all.
Well, I was just really joking, kind of, with the producer, but love to see him do it.
Well, he's only a single, double, triple, and home run shy of hitting for the cycle as he walks in the second inning. And walks have been a problem for the Blue Jays pitching staff. They did not pitch well last year in a disappointing year, and they have the second most walks in the league coming into tonight. And McGowan had a pretty quick first inning on just 10 pitches, and now a single and a walk to begin the bottom of the second inning. That was John Gibbons with pitching coach Pete Walker. And now Sal, who had quite an amazing turnaround in the Baltimore series, and that's under the chin for ball one. Sal in Cleveland homered. It put an end to an 0 for 22. And he turned a 1 for 29 into a 5 for 9. So all of a sudden, that's a hot bat at the plate. And he has Butler at second base and Gordon at first with nobody out. Left center field. And Rasmus appears to have a play. And does have a play right in front of the warning track. Billy will tag up and go to third. On another night in another ballpark, that might be more than just a fly ball to deep center field.
Yeah, nice job by Billy. Gordo, he got over halfway to second base. He thought that might have a chance to get in. He wanted to score for Salvi, so he went back to first, and by that time he couldn't get into second base. But at least he got the runner over.
And now first and third for Mike Moustakas. Alex jumping around at first base as Moustakas fouls it away.
To me, like Alex was trying to get a good jump. I think he wanted to go.
Moustakas homered twice and drove in 6 during the road trip. Leads the Royals with 4 home runs. And despite that low batting average, third with 12 RBIs. Fastball with some life. 0-2. Pretty amazing when you consider everything that has happened to Dustin McGowan's right arm, that he's still throwing 94 miles an hour, and at times even faster than that.
Didn't he come out of the paper and say he's run out of gas after about 70 pitches?
60.
Oh. Ooh.
And that gets away from Navarro. Royals tie the game as Butler scores and Alex moves up to second base. A wild pitch on Dustin McGowan.
That hit Navarro's shin guard. It sounded like it might have hit Moose's foot, but you could tell Moose didn't even hop around or nothing. So it's just a wild one. They'll take it. Now Alex got over to second base.
And that's just out of play. Still 1-2. Showed you just a moment ago that the Blue Jays have been one of the best teams for Mike Moustakas in his career. He has never faced Dustin McGowan, but the rest of the Blue Jays pitchers he has faced in his career, he's hitting .333 against them. Fastball backed up a little bit, but not enough. 2-2.
I don't think I would make it public, at least me tell people that I was running out of gas after 60 pitches if I was a starter. That's telling everybody I really probably should pitch out of the bullpen.
Yeah, 60 pitches. I mean, nowadays that could be 3 innings or less. Still 2-2. Well, consider this. He was drafted in 2000. In 2004, he had Tommy John surgery. In 2005, he was diagnosed with diabetes. He had right shoulder surgery in 2008. right knee surgery in 2009, right shoulder surgery again in 2010, right shoulder surgery again in 2012.
Wow. And still can throw 97.
That's the amazing thing about it, and that's why the Blue Jays continued to hang on to him despite all those injuries. And he missed all of 2009, all of 2010, all of 2012. He is the Blue Jays version of the Bionic Man. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Okay, there's Moose again, seeing a lot of pitches. We've seen him take a lot of pitches this year. Now, he hasn't had the success offensively with his batting average, but look at how many pitches Moose is seeing. That's really good.
Almost hit him on the ankle, so he comes back from 0-2 to take a walk. It's McGowan's second of the inning. And now 2 on with 1 out, and pitching coach Pete Walker along with catcher Deanna Navarro are going to go out and have a chat with McGowan as we take a look at the Academy Sports offense at the K for the Royals. That .291 average, that's the best average for any team at home in the American League. They have hit more home runs on the road because there's been better places on the road to hit home runs, and they've played 6 more games away from Kauffman Stadium than at home. And then, of course, the average with runners in scoring position is a lot better here at home than on the road.
Well, you know, that's a beautiful thing. Don Wakamatsu did an interview on the Hy-Vee pregame show, Royals Live. And Wakamatsu said, you know we can win at home. We have to win on the road. We have to get to 500, fight our way back. But they love it here. Why wouldn't they? They, the fans outside of, tonight, some of these cold evenings, they've been turning out with their fangs out. You can hear them. That passion's here.
Oh, 0-1 on Escobar. 7 hits, 4 walks on the trip. Showing a much better eye this year. And while the batting average is just under 300, I think the most important stat for him is his on-base percentage because of his speed. Down, no balls, 2 strikes, and an on-base percentage of .352 so far. Royals have tied the game in this inning on a wild pitch. Throw down at first, and Moustakas back in time as Navarro tried to throw behind him.
Navarro hadn't gotten a lot of help from his pitchers this year so far. It's early. He's only caught 3 of 21 base stealers for 14%. And that I'm giving to his pitchers. Guy's not going to try to pick off guys around the bases if he doesn't have a good arm.
Reyes, second base 1, and no double play. So the inning is still alive with Gordon at third and Escobar at first, 2 down.
Yeah, they had no chance to turn the 2 on Esky.
And now Gerard Dyson, who looks like he's going to go out and shovel his driveway. The ski mask, the open ski mask covering his ears and his neck. Escobar runs, and Navarro throws wild and into center field. Royals are going to take the lead. So their 2 runs have come on an error by the catcher and a wild pitch.
when he released that ball, it was heading between Chris Getz, a second baseman, and Reyes, a shortstop. You can see it from this angle here. Look at that. There's nobody covering there.
Two 2-0 on Dyson. Escobar gets his 5th stolen base on the play and then goes to 3rd on the air. And I told you an inning ago, the Blue Jays had the fewest errors in the league, only 8. 8 errors in 25 games before tonight. This is pitch number 30 in this inning. And Dyson takes it for a strike. Jarrod Dyson hit .450 in Cleveland and Baltimore. Stole a couple of bases. Getting a lot of playing time with Lorenzo Cain on the disabled list and making the most of it. 2-2.
That's exactly what you want to do when you get a chance to play. Show what you got. And he's got that speed. And that speed is an important commodity in any sport. Especially he's getting better at hitting that ball on the ground.
Full count.
He could bunt every time up and hit 280.
Well, remember during the Baltimore series, you and I weren't working together, but he had a sac bunt. The defense knew it was coming. It wasn't a great bunt, and he still beat it out. And I'm sure he's heard it all the time, Hud. You know, like you said, if you bunt it all the time, you could hit whatever, 250, 260. And I'm sure he's heard, you know, Jarrod, you don't have to bunt perfectly with your speed. I wondered if that wasn't a lesson learned on that play in Baltimore. The defense knows it's coming. He hit it in a spot where somebody could field it, and he still beat it out. Fastball at 91 strikes him out. The Royals get 2 thanks to 2 walks, a wild pitch, and an error, and lead 2-1 at the end of 2. Well, fans, with the Sprint Family plan, everyone gets unlimited talk, text, and 1 gig of data for as low as $25 a month per line while on the Sprint network. And the more people added, up to 10 total, the lower your rate. Plus, while you'll save as a team, all accounts can be billed individually. And our question of the day, which offseason acquisition has had the biggest impact so far? And all have had an impact. Nori Aoki, especially here at home. Omar Infante on defense and at the plate. Jason Vargas.
Well, you know, it's early so far. If you want my opinion, I'll give you it. I think Vargas has been. Now, by the time the season ends, I'm sure that the top two guys in that lineup there, Aoki and Infante, will probably have made the biggest difference as the Royals head off into the postseason. Just my opinion.
Changeup. Second strikeout for Vargas as he gets Jose Reyes, and one down in the third inning.
That's an equalizer. Look at that. Look at that index finger. That's not just a circle change. He curls that thing all the way up into a little donut. Most guys just kind of touch their index finger and their thumb together. But did you see that?
Melky Cabrera line to short his first time up.
We got the best cameraman in the business. Let's see it again, guys. Look at this angle here. Look at that index finger. Just really the thumb and the last three fingers are doing the work. Maybe not even the pinky. The pinky looked like it was off the ball too.
And that index finger, the pressure of the index finger is what helps a pitcher create velocity. So if you take that finger off the ball, you can go at the exact same arm speed as a fastball. It just doesn't come out as fast.
That's the whole key. Have the same arm speed as your fastball.
Right center field, and Aoki calls up Dyson. 2 down. So those free agent acquisitions. Here's our Toyota League leaders. Jason Vargas, second in the league in ERA. Nori Aoki has the best home batting average of any team in the American League. And Omar Infante, 17 RBIs. That leads all Major League second basemen. So they've all had an impact.
I'll say.
And speaking of impact, there was major impact when Jose Bautista met a pitch from Vargas in the top of the first inning. A line drive cutting through the wind, home run to left field.
He's one of the dangerous power hitters in the game. I mean, his swing, the way he coils. He's got a great flamingo leg kick that loads up his hands, his whole body, and he's got a swing. Very comfortable.
So now trailing just Albert Pujols, and Jose Abreu is having a heck of a year, heck of a month. 10 home runs, 31 RBIs already. Alex runs it down in left center field. That's his second good play of the night. So this time Bautista is out, and so are the Blue Jays in order in the third. Royals fan, the Royals are on their way. They've got 2 runs in their first 2 innings coming up in the bottom of the 3rd. 3 games with the Blue Jays and then 3 games with the Tigers beginning on Friday night, and that's our first Buck Night and summer fireworks of the season. Select items are just $1 at the concession stand, so stock up on hot dogs, peanuts, and small Pepsi products, and then stay after the game for the fireworks show, courtesy of Hy-Vee and Pepsi. Royals.com or 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Top of the order, Aoki, Infante, and Hosmer, and they went down on just 10 pitches against McGowan in the first inning, and then the Royals scored 2 in the second. Aoki hits it just inside the bag, and it veers way into foul territory. He might try for 3, and he will hold as Bautista was playing shallow, so he got to that ball in pretty good shape. But Aoki was thinking about it, and he'll hold with a leadoff double.
4th on the season. It wasn't like he laced it. He kind of hit a little lob shot over that. Perfect place to put it. You throw him inside, and on an off-speed pitch, he'll get around on it.
I don't know if you caught it, but I thought I caught Aoki peeking over that right shoulder. Now, normally when a guy of his style is doing that, he's thinking about a bunt. But I think he recognized that Encarnacion was in, so that was really going to limit his range. It looked like he was trying to pull the ball to the right side. And now Infante goes the other way, caught by Bautista. Aoki, he's going to go for it. It's a good throw and a double play.
I'm sure that Aoki was schooled in the arms department out there. Bautista has one of the best. He's a great thrower. Look at him. He lines up. His momentum's coming in. He loved it to see him tag up there. That's a one-hopper, perfect throw.
Below the knees. Ball 1 to Hosmer. Grounded out to Getz at second base in the first inning. Hosmer had a big year last year against the Blue Jays. Good swing at that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals played the Blue Jays 6 times last year, and Hosmer drove in 5 and hit .467 against Toronto. That got the home plate umpire James Hoy 2-1. Very high to left field. Melky Cabrera waiting for it to come down, and it finally does come down. 6 pitches for Dustin McGowan to get to the bottom of the 3rd. The Royals lead 2-1.
quite frozen tundra, although you wouldn't know it looking at Gerard Dyson. He has been taking advantage of that playing time. As for Lorenzo Cain on the disabled list with the groin injury, Lorenzo telling me that he's run the last 2 or 3 days out here, run the bases, done some agility work and cutting on the field, done some hitting. Was hoping to do a full practice with the team today. The weather kept him from doing that, but he hit in the cage, hoping for that full practice tomorrow and thinking if it feels good that maybe he could get out on assignment. He's hoping at least in the next few days. And guys, in comparing that injury to the one he had a couple of years ago, he said that one was a grade 3 and he was never able to really recover from it. This one is a grade 1. He feels much better and very optimistic.
Thanks, Joel. It's really cold out there tonight, isn't it? As Encarnacion hits it into shallow right field, and Aoki brings it down. Encarnacion is 0 for 2.
I like those hats with the ear flaps on them. Yeah, those are great.
Deoner Navarro, he's singled leading off the second inning and has hit safely in 7 straight and batting at .317. Strike over the outside, 0-1. Escobar to the middle. He's got time. Navarro. Oh, and he slipped. Hopefully he didn't roll or twist anything.
Or pull anything.
It's a base hit for Navarro.
He would have gotten him. Okay. Yep. Told you that grass is a little bit wet out there.
Back foot just kind of skid out on him.
Yeah. Now, Escobar wears rubber molded cleats. And let me see if those are, maybe he's got, no, those are the rubber molded. I never was comfortable wearing plastic cleats. On turf, maybe, but not on grass. But you know, whatever he's comfortable with.
Juan Francisco struck out looking in the second inning. Vargas has struck out 2. One and one. We were talking about him when he batted in the second inning. The Royals were in Atlanta last year in April, and Francisco hit 2 home runs. He had 6 hits in the series, and then surprising, at least to people connected to the Royals, he was gone not long after that. Aoki makes a play in right field, and Navarro back to first with 2 down.
Fans, vote for Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com/Royals, and you'll be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House. We've got a few candidates. Fonte's having some kind of April. Escobar is too.
Let's start making some decisions as well. We've only got today and tomorrow before we turn the page on April.
How about Vargas? If he holds on, he'd be 3-0 with an ERA under 2. You hope.
And he got off to a fast start last year, and especially in the month of May. He was 5-0 in the month of May. He was the American League Pitcher of the Month, and on his way to a 4th consecutive career season. But then he developed that blood clot in his left arm in June, and that wiped out 2 months of his season. So he is accustomed to having fast starts. Tough pitch, and Laurie goes down to get it and lines it into right field. So the 179 hitter is 2 for 2 tonight.
He's a high energy guy. Nice hitting right here. Ooh. He went down and hit it. That's the only chance you have. Reach way out there.
So 2 on 2 out for Colby Rasmus. He reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning. Down and in, ball 1. Two and 0. You mentioned his hand position when he batted in the second inning. The thing I always remember about Rasmus when he was with the Cardinals and even last year with the Blue Jays, remember he would point his chin on his front shoulder, really exaggerate turning his head toward the pitcher.
Not so much this year.
No, now it's an adjustment with the hands.
Maybe Seitzer has revamped him.
Well, that was impressive as far as distance, but well foul. And twice now he's been way out in front of Jason Vargas. The foul ball before that one hit the netting of the dugout behind him. So he's really got him way out in front. And then takes one right down the middle. 3 strikeouts for Vargas as he works around 2 hits in the 4th inning.
Rasmus, you got to go.
Royals baseball is brought to you by Panera Bread, coming soon to College and King in Overland Park. And by your Midwest Ford dealer. Visit us at yourmidwestforddealers.com. Very, very light drizzle falling and has been since first pitch. So there are some umbrellas still up. We had a rain delay of about 25 minutes. Royals with 2 runs in the second inning, and it all started with a Billy Butler single. And then he scored on a wild pitch. Alex Gordon later in the inning scored on a throwing error by the catcher Navarro. Royals appear to be trending upward offensively, and they've also had some breaks go their way. They have gotten a handful of runs over the past week thanks to unearned runs. 6, including tonight. So it doesn't hurt to be a little lucky as well.
No. Heck, I never knew a team that was embarrassed by the runs they got. Just get them.
1-2. Goes the other way on a slider and hits it well. Bautista runs it down as that ball got caught up in the mist and the wind.
Fans, Wednesdays at the K are student night and local music showcase presented by Inc. Magazine. Show your student ID at the box office to get an $8 ticket. Make sure to get here early for food and drink specials and live music in the outfield experience. The next student night is tomorrow, featuring music from 15-year-old singer-songwriter Gracie Schramm. Select tickets are available online at Royals.com/student night. Come on and listen to Gracie.
Ball 1 on Alex. He walked in the second inning. Still the 4 necessary hits shy of Rex's predicted cycle tonight. If he could single, double, triple, homer, and walk, that'd be a heck of a night.
In this game?
Yep.
Yeah.
And now it's raining a little harder. Still a miss, but the wind is blowing that mist all over the field. Going to be tough on the fielders, anything in the air. Alex is out and a ground ball to Encarnacion, 2 down in the 4th. Encarnacion on a pop-up a couple of innings ago had to look up into that mist and lost sight of the ball for a moment, and it dropped. Well, there you go. There's a really good shot of that northwest wind just blowing the mist from left to right. Salvador Perez, because of that wind, lost a home run perhaps in the second inning when he drove it to deep center field, caught by Rasmus. I think Sal's lost a couple of home runs to weather this year. Remember the ball he hit in Detroit on opening day. All right, let's see what happens here. The wind is going to push it toward the dugout, and Encarnacion, with the mist in his eyes, takes care of this one. So it's a 9-pitch inning for McGowan. And at the end of 4, the Royals lead 2-1.
An adjustment in the rotation as Bruce Chen will be pushed back to Saturday. That means Yordano Ventura goes tomorrow, followed by Jeremy Guthrie and James Shields. As for Chen, he had an epidural in his back this afternoon. Had a chance to talk to him. He's got a bulging disc back there, and it's causing irritation in the sciatic nerve. And Bruce saying that's really been going on for about 4 weeks, and that would explain the pain that he has had in his backside, really coming from the back and then down and affecting him. And so he's been trying to pitch through that, hoping for relief, hoping he can go on Saturday. Not sure that he can, but he said that he is doing all of his regular video work, prep work. In his mind, he is going because he knows he needs to be ready and prepared. Whether that happens or not still remains to be seen.
All right, Joel, thank you. And Ned Yost also saying before the game today that if Bruce is able to go, that he would be back-to-back with Jason Vargas, and it'll be another couple more starts or so when he's able to separate those two. Fouled away by Chris Getz. And Ned made that very clear in spring training that if at all possible, he did not want Vargas and Chen to go back-to-back, figuring they are so similar in style that it might be an advantage for the opponent. Fouled away again by Chris Getz, who is involved in maybe the most important play of the game so far when he grounded out in the second inning. That's because it was first ruled an infield base hit and a run. The Royals challenged and they won. Getz was out and the RBI was taken away. And a little easier play for Infante as he throws out Getz for a second time. One down in the fifth.
Okay, Chris Getz, I think had he touched the front part of the base, might have got him hit. I don't know. But Wakamatsu said, hey, let's challenge it. Out.
And now Reyes toward the right field corner, and the wind grabs it, makes it a tough play for Aoki, and it's off of his glove. Reyes has a one-out double. He's 1 for 3.
Oh yeah, it is not easy play for any fly ball for any infielder or outfielder, but that one there, it twisted him up. Wasn't sure exactly how hard he hit it. That wind pushed it, and then looking up into that mist added some degree of difficulty to that.
So a tying run at second with one out. And Melky Cabrera takes a strike. He lined to short his first time up. Fly to right in the third. One hit away from 40 on the year, which would be a Blue Jays record for March and April. Oh, and 2. Back in 2011, looked like Melky Cabrera was on his way out. He had had some down years with the Yankees, one bad year with the Braves, and he was released. But here in Kansas City, set career highs for games, hits, doubles, home runs, RBIs. Just inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shea Hillenbrand in 2005 and Shannon Stewart in 2001 both had 39 hits in March and April, or possibly just April, but this year the season began on March 31st. Right field, another tough play for Aoki. It's raining hard now, and that sails over his head and off the wall. So Cabrera will tie the game, and he will end up at third base with an RBI triple. So there's the record, 40 hits in March and April. First player in Toronto Blue Jays history with that many hits in those 2 months.
You could tell by the sound that he got a lot of this ball. put it on the meat. Didn't have a big swing, but you don't have to. When you barrel that up and you catch it just right underneath it, it's going to travel, especially with that wind pushing out that way.
So I think we've graduated here from heavy mist to light rain as Bautista comes up, and that skips away from Sal and back into the netting, and Toronto has regained the lead. Wild pitch on Jason Vargas, his first of the year.
Yeah, Salvi did all he could to try to block that and get in front of that. Just hit the heel of his glove. These conditions, you never know when it's going to bounce, even on dry conditions.
Changeup. 1-1 on Bautista. He homered to left in the first inning and then lined to left in the third. Always takes a healthy cut. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. This is a big inning. If the Blue Jays had been scoreless, then it's an official game, with the Royals leading 2-1, and you just never know with the way the rain is falling. Again, it's not raining hard enough now to affect the game that much, but it's just the accumulation of rain on the grass, on the infield dirt, around the mound, and around home plate. Still 2-2. Struck him out. Back with a fastball away. Number 4 for Vargas. 2 down in the 5th. Royals alumni batting practice is back at Kauffman Stadium. It'll be Saturday, June 14th. Anyone 25 years or older can join Royals alumni on the field from 8 a.m. to noon for only $300. That also includes breakfast, a t-shirt, and shorts, as Infante throws out Encarnacion to end the inning. Blue Jays get 2, and they take the lead.
at the K, the most fun-filled educational day at the yard. Take a field trip, come out and learn about the weather with Fox 4 Chief Meteorologist Mike Thompson. Demonstrations start at 10 a.m., then enjoy the game at 1:10 as the Royals take on the Rockies. All students and schools can get discounted tickets at royals.com/schoolday.
Well, we've got some weather here tonight. We had a rain delay of about 25 minutes, and the rain is just about stopped. We're back to a very slight mist. Royals down by 1 for the second time tonight. Ball 1 to Mike Moustakas. He walked in the second inning, coming back from an 0-2 count. That was his first at bat ever against Dustin McGowan. High and away, 2-0. Royals runs in the second. Butler scored on a wild pitch, and Alex Gordon scored on an errant throw by the catcher Navarro. The Blue Jays just made a little switch on defense. That's why McGowan backed off the rubber. Laurie, the third baseman, and Reyes, the shortstop, flip-flopped on the shift to the right side. And now it's 3-0 on Moustakas.
Yeah, you don't see too many of the defenses shift in between pitches, but look at them. They're doing it again.
It's kind of like an offense where the quarterback puts some guys in motion.
Yeah.
3-1. Just for the heck of it, let's have Laurie and Encarnacion shift.
I think they'll stop it at that. Got to have the right glove. Well, I guess he could give him the glove.
3 balls, 2 strikes. McGowan at 63 pitches. And remember, earlier in the game, we were talking about how he said in his last start that he has been feeling fatigued after 60 pitches. Moustakas walks again, and McGowan has 3 walks now, and 2 of those against Moustakas.
Well, certainly the weather, being as cool as it is, would help conserve a little bit of his energy.
Trying to impress his manager, John Gibbons, tonight. And Blue Jays and their fans wondering if McGowan has another bad start. Will he get his next turn in the rotation? Oh, 0-1 on Escobar. He reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning, ended up stealing his 5th base. One and one. Just in case. They're already working in the Blue Jays bullpen. Moustakas runs, and the Royals are trying a hit and run, and Escobar fouls it away.
Great idea. Took a shot at it, got the right pitch. It was just a little up.
Reyes backs up to the grass. 1 down in the 5th. Well, this didn't take very long. As we promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Now, this was not taken before the game tonight, needless to say. But thank you to Samuel Vargas. Any relation? Are we aware of? Ball 1 to Dyson. He struck out in the second inning. Moustakas did not have a very big lead.
Outfield shallow for Dyson. Love to see him hit a gapper.
Got to pitch up and drives it to left center, but Melky Cabrera will bring it down. So Moustakas with that leadoff walk is still at first with 2 down. Nori Aoki grounded out to second base and doubled. He continues to add on to his already impressive numbers at home. Takes a fastball for a strike. He was hitting .441 when the game began. That was the highest home batting average of any American League player. And now 1 for 2 tonight. Thought I noticed, Hud, when he got his double in the third inning, that he was glancing over his shoulder. Just a little, couple peeks, 3 peeks, 4 peeks over to the right side, seeing where Encarnacion was. And then it looked like with the swing, he just willed himself to pull it to the right side, and he got it past Encarnacion.
Yeah, you know, Navarro was sitting outside, so obviously McGowan didn't hit his spot. He left him a breaking ball that he could pull. But, you know, when you're a good bunter like Aoki is, you're going to check the corners every time you come up. You're going to look and peek. But, you know, it's unusual when at this particular time in his batting stance he'd be peeking. Usually you look around before you get in the box. Maybe once in a while you get in the box and take a peek. But, you know, those corner guys are watching you, too. So they know that you're peeking.
He's got a hole on that right side again with Moustakas at first and Encarnacion holding him at the bag. Two and two. We've seen Nori take some Ichiro Suzuki type swings this year, and you know the old saying about hitting, you know, hit the ball where it's pitched. Ichiro in his prime would do better than that. He would take pitches in certain parts of the strike zone and do the opposite of what you expect, trying to hit the ball to a certain part of the field, as if that was kind of predetermined before he got in the box.
Amazing talent. Most likely be the first Japanese born in the Hall of Fame here in America.
Don't see many guys in the game today choke way up on the bat the way Aoki does. Isn't that one of the first things we learned in Little League? When you have 2 strikes, hey, choke up, make contact. And he does, and lines to Getz to end the inning. So the Royals don't make anything of the leadoff walk. And at the end of 5, Toronto leads 3-2.
Volunteer groups will collect recyclables around Kauffman Stadium and in return will receive great benefits such as t-shirts, free tickets, and recognition during some of the biggest games of the summer. For more information on how to sign up, go to Royals.com/Green Team.
Blue Jays scored in the first inning on Bautista's home run. The Royals got 2 in the second thanks to a wild pitch and an error. And then Toronto regained the lead with 2 in the 5th. Melky Cabrera drove in a run, and then he later scored on a wild pitch. Gianna Navarro is now hitting .325 as he has gone 2 for 2 tonight and has hit in 7 straight games. Blue Jays during the offseason decided it was best to part ways with J.P. Arancibia, who's now at the Rangers. And in a pretty bold move, they acquired Gianna Navarro and declared him their starting catcher, which he's been before in the big leagues, but he has not played or had not played more than 53 games since 2009. So it's been a while since he's been a regular, but they wanted an upgrade on defense, and they've been getting some offense from him as well as Hosmer pulls that one out of the dirt, and Vargas gets Navarro for the first time tonight.
Well, so far, Arancibia's hitting .094 for the Rangers. So he's gotten off to a rough start. Navarro's raking.
Francisco has struck out and flied out to right field. Cracked his bat, 0-1.
You know, reading up on this guy a little bit more, he hit the second furthest ball at Great American Ballpark, 502 feet in their history.
I believe it.
Yeah,
the way he swung the bat in Atlanta last year was impressive.
He cleared the moon deck.
Where is the moon deck? Do you know where the moon deck is?
Somewhere in the outfield.
Apparently it's a long way away from home plate.
Right.
It's not quite to the Saturn deck, but it's far.
We don't get to go to that ballpark that often.
One and two on Francisco. Vargas right at 80 pitches after 5 1/3 innings. Two and two. Tonight is the first time all year that Vargas has allowed more than 2 earned runs in any start. Trying to keep the ball in on Francisco, and the count goes from 0-2 to 3-2.
Okay, Missouri Lottery Fox Track shows you that was just off the plate inside.
And gets him with a fastball away. Francisco strikes out for a second time, and that's 5 for Vargas.
Stayed away from him.
Curveball for a strike to Laurie. Brett Laurie was hitting 179 when the game started. He is singled twice, once to left field, once to right. 1-1. He had been 0 for his previous 15 against the Royals before those 2 hits. On the ground to Moustakas. Royals third baseman throws out the Blue Jays third baseman. And that's the second 1-2-3 inning for Vargas. Omar Infante had one of the best games of his life on Sunday. He'll lead off the bottom of the sixth. The Royals are down by 1. Your Kansas City Honda dealers bring you the MTP of the game, the most trusted player, brought to you by the most trusted brand, Honda.
Oh, that was a well-struck baseball at Camden Yards. Beautiful stroke. Infante was on fire. First couple of ribbies he got were of the infield quality. Hey, how about this? Back in September 6th last year when he wore the Tigers uniform in a game James Shields pitched, he got 6 steaks in that game.
So last year against Shields, this year for Shields.
Yep.
Who won that game on Sunday. And he'll lead off the bottom of the 6th inning with the Royals down by 1. Strike from McGowan.
James Shields likes him a lot better in this Royals uniform. Looks better too.
Hard slider. 0-2 on Omar. He has flied to center, and then he lined to right in the 3rd inning, which was the beginning of a double play as Aoki was thrown out at third base. Rebecca Collins is our Sonic Slam inning contestant. Rebecca from Lenexa. Back to McGowan. Long underhand toss to Encarnacion, and Infante is 0 for 3. Omar became the 3rd Royals second baseman ever to have that many RBIs in a game. Frank White had a 7 RBI game back in '87 against Texas, and then Alberto Callaspo had a 6 RBI game against Minnesota in 2010. Changeup in for a strike to Hosmer. He's 0 for 2.
McGowan's been mixing in his pitches pretty well this evening. He's doing a nice job keeping him off balance. One thing I'm noticing is he's changing speeds with his fastball. He's going anywhere from 91 to 95.
Well, we haven't seen any fatigue after 60 pitches tonight.
Nope. Weather's helping him.
Big rip. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, not having any home runs is weighing on Hosmer. He is swinging.
The league has given him trouble once he gets past 75 pitches. That's his 2nd strikeout. And now McGowan not wearing down at all. He's beginning to hit his stride as he's retired 10 of the last 11 Royals, and the only one to reach during that stretch was on a walk. Billy tonight is single to right. Ended up scoring a run on a wild pitch, and he's also lined out to deep right. Ball one. In on his hands, and coming up is Bautista in right field, and it's a 9-pitch 6th inning for McGowan. On to the 7th. The Blue Jays still lead by 1.
Seats at Kauffman Stadium, seats behind the dugout, Diamond Club, or even Crown seats for a limited time. You can go to ticketsforless.com, enter the code word Joel, and receive a nice discount on tickets to all Royals games. Check out ticketsforless.com for all your Royals tickets. Ryan?
All right, Joel, thank you. And here's a good spot to watch the game tonight. 46 degrees with the wind blasting out of the northwest. They are behind the glass in the warm confines of the Diamond Club behind home plate. Jason Vargas not bothered by the cold. He's been in short sleeves all night. 3 earned runs for the first time this year in a start. He's retired the last 5 as he begins the 7th inning and pitches to Colby Rasmus, who takes a curveball for a strike. Rasmus is grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out. Up the right field line and foul by less than a foot.
He's been trying to guide one in down there all night.
.88 pitches, and Kelvin Herrera just starting to loosen up in the left field bullpen. We just saw Rasmus do something that players do in the rain. He took his bat and he put it between his knees and tried to get the rain off of the barrel. Does it hurt the bat at all if it's wet?
It's just it's harder to square up. I mean, the ball slips off it a little easier. Not on that one, though.
Just over the bag. So he continues to pull the ball to the right side. This time he gets one in between the lines and has a leadoff double.
Yeah, rain affects everything.
But I mean, is that really true, or is that just kind of in theory?
I think hitters want to have a dry hitting surface. And that's a natural thing. I mean, whether it affects whether the ball is going to slip off the bat, I don't know. But hitters are pretty superstitious, and they're not used to playing in the rain. Well, he hugged that line there.
And now the Royals expect a bunt from Chris Getz, and we remember him as a good bunter. So Hosmer and Moustakas are in. And he bunts it back to Vargas, who looks to third, but Rasmus got a good break and then a close play at first. And Getz advances Rasmus to third with one out.
Okay, just want to get the ball down. Doesn't have to be perfect. And it wasn't. As long as his fingers are behind the bat.
Well, remember a couple of years ago right here, he didn't quite get his fingers behind the bat, remember, and got nailed by Chris Sale.
It caught him. Vargas kept his composure, though. He checked third and then knew he had enough to get him out.
Reyes takes low, ball one. Reyes doubled and scored in the Blue Jays' 2-run fifth inning. That's when they turned a 2-1 game into a 3-2 lead. And there's a base hit. And now the Blue Jays lead by 2. Get him on, get him over, get him in.
That's right. Ball's down. He reached out, hit it off the end of the bat, but had good head position. Stayed right down on it.
Reyes has not attempted a stolen base yet. Hud told you about his hamstring injury. He was on the disabled list in the middle of this month. So he is recently back from that. And now Cabrera lines it into right center field, and that will go deep and all the way to the wall. Reyes will score from first, and Melky Cabrera has an RBI double, and now Toronto leads 5-2 in the 7th inning.
Cabrera, he's on fire. Boy, this goes with this. Good bat control. Just staying inside the baseball, using the large part of the field. Reyes doesn't look like he's having any hitch to his get along. And he must be fine.
Chevy called to the bullpen. Kelvin Herrera comes on to face Jose Bautista as Toronto leads by 3 in the 7th inning. Kevin Seitzer at the top step of the dugout talking to a hitter with a relief pitcher coming into the game. And Pedro Grifol does the same thing with the Royals hitters as Kelvin Herrera takes over for Vargas with 1 out in the 7th inning. So power and power. And Bautista has already homered tonight, his 8th. He was 1 for 3 against Vargas. And so Herrera goes with a breaking ball for ball 1. Bautista has now reached safely in each of the first 26 games for the Blue Jays, which includes a current 9-game hitting streak. Melky Cabrera has driven in 2 tonight, including 1 in this inning, as the Blue Jays have added 2 to extend their lead to 5-2. And knocking Jason Vargas out. 2-0.
Vargas left the ball up a little bit, but it's not a bad outing. I mean, they got 10 hits off him, but he was up in the zone.
3-0. A couple of guys from the Dominican Republic matching up right here. And the Blue Jays on Sunday had a lineup that included 6 players from the Dominican Republic for the first time in Major League history. And now Bautista is on. That's the first walk given up by a Royals pitcher tonight. So 6 Dominicans in John Gibbons' lineup. And then later in the game, Esmail Rogers, a relief pitcher, came in out of the bullpen. And I remember the Blue Jays a long time ago in the American League, and the Dodgers in the National League were the first 2 major league teams that really heavily scouted the Dominican Republic, brought over a lot of players into their minor league system. They established baseball academies there long before other teams did.
Have some great athletes out there. Now every team in the world scouts out there.
Here's another player from the Dominican Republic, Edwin Encarnacion, 0 for 3 so far tonight. Back to Herrera, and he will play it to first. He throws wild, but Hosmer has time to get back to the bag. And Herrera didn't seem like he even considered second base.
It's because he lost his footing. He wanted to make sure of an out there, and he almost threw one away, and a couple runs with it. See, right here, his right foot left, his heel left under him, and he goes, you know what? But he still flew through without lining his body up. He didn't take a crow hop. He kind of just threw off balance like that. That's why it went away. But fortunately, Hosmer is able to retrieve it and get the out. 2 down.
Deander Navarro has 2 hits, 2 for 3. Ball 1 outside. Two balls and no strikes as Navarro hits left-handed for the first time tonight. Blue Jays have 3 switch hitters in their lineup tonight: Reyes, Cabrera, and Navarro. Three and 0. Four-pitch walk, and that loads him up for Juan Francisco. And Herrera has walked 2 of the 3 hitters he's faced.
Well, I'm not going to make any excuses for him. Maybe he's not comfortable out there with the footing, or he doesn't look real sure of himself.
Well, and I'm with you too. It's something we don't really bring up a lot. And you know, you said no excuses. That seems to be the macho thing for a guy to say these days. No excuses, but, and maybe the better choice of words would be an explanation. But for somebody to sit out on a bench in a bullpen on a cold, windy, rainy night for 2 hours, very little body movement, and they can move around a little bit and play catch, but for the most part, it's got to be very hard to increase the body temperature. And then in a flash, the phone rings, and Kelvin Herrera is supposed to be all of a sudden at his best. Not just him, but I think that's difficult for any relief pitcher. One and one on Francisco. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Infante, and that ends the inning. But the Blue Jays get 2 more, and their lead is 3. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium. Toronto leads 5-2.
Around the league as we take a glance. Seattle leading New York. Tampa Bay getting trounced by Boston. Chicago and Detroit all tied up. Cleveland trailing very early on. Here's our Mazda game break. Michael Kay with the call of the return of Robinson Cano to the Bronx.
They're saying he didn't feel respect from the organization. Well, that's a version of a Bronx cheer that Cano has not heard. Mariners go down in order. Yankees coming to bat.
But right now it is Cano's Mariners leading the way, and he did have a hit, a run, and an RBI in it. Guys, a little ironic that many of those New Yorkers who were so upset that Robinson Cano was booed here in Kansas City are now the ones booing him, or maybe I prefer the one that says that Yankees fans are upset that one of their players took bigger money elsewhere.
For a change.
There you go.
Thank you, Joel. So the Royals down by 3 as they bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3 balls and no strikes. McGowan has walked 3, but he's only given up 2 hits. And out to count 3-0. Not only is Pete Walker coming out of the third base dugout, but he is living up to his last name, because that is about as slow a walk as you will ever see. So this is all about buying time for the bullpen. As McGowan is coming up on 90 pitches. Give him a chance to reset himself and let the bullpen catch up.
I think they'd be pretty pleased with his outing. He's only given up 2 hits. Both of those runs weren't exactly scored like they want them, but like I said earlier, you don't care how you get them, but a wild pitch and an error.
Delabar for the Blue Jays, Michael Marriott for the Royals. Three and one. Three and two. McGowan is 1-1. And the victory for him was on April the 11th at Baltimore. It was his first since 2008. And earlier in the game, we were telling you about all of the injuries and surgeries he's had since becoming a professional. High and deep into right center field. And Rasmussen Bautista back. And it stays in and hits the bottom of the wall. So McGowan had retired 11 out of 12. And Alex is at second base, which is the 3rd hit tonight for the Royals. And that's his 10th double, which leads the team.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it had enough to get out or not because it had a lot of air underneath it. He got under it. But it was right down the middle of the plate, 3-2. He knew a fastball was coming. And it fell right at the base of the wall.
That also ties Alex for the league lead with 10 doubles, and it knocks Dustin McGowan out of the game. So Steve Delabar is a Chevy call to the bullpen, and he'll come on to face Salvador Perez. The Blue Jays bullpen. On one hand, in 10 innings, he has only given up 4 hits. On the other hand, he's walked 6 in 10 innings. So a 125 opponent's batting average, but a 3.6 ERA. And that's really been a problem for the Blue Jays bullpen in their last 11 games. And we'll get back to that as Sal fouls it away. And I'm talking about walks. In their last 11 games, 5.85 ERA. Why? 50 walks. Now that's this season, second most in the league behind the White Sox bullpen, but 28 walks allowed by the bullpen in the last 11 games.
Wow. It's a high number. The Royals want to try to mount a little something going here to get a little rally. Quickly down in the count 0-2. He's another hard thrower. You know, his fastball top out in the mid-90s. He's got a slider to go with it.
Still 0-2.
Two pitches up above the belt, and they're going to try to get him out there.
One and two.
They see you swing at those pitches, and you're down in the count as a hitter. They're going to just keep going a little higher, trying to strike you out.
Didn't get that pitch up like he wanted to, and lucky that Sal fouled it away.
Giving the fans some souvenirs tonight.
Another foul ball. Still 1-2 on Sal.
That was his first slider he threw in. Salvi was way ahead of it.
Delabar was an all-star last year with the Blue Jays. He won the fan vote. He had his native state, Kentucky, and the entire country of Canada voting for him. Blasted to left field. Salvador Perez makes it a one-run game. How about that at bat?
Woo, that was a doozy. Staying alive. Delabar came down into his nitro zone. So he got him to foul off those first few, and that ball was right down the middle. Salvi turned on it. After six foul balls, Salvi squared it up. Ooh, yeah. Those home runs get you back in games, and also when you have the lead, give the pitcher a little break. But this one right here, got to get these guys back in it. Some time left. Only 4 hits, but they got 4 runs.
Strike to Moustakas, who walked twice against Dustin McGowan. So there we go. 4 runs for the Royals. And that is a magic number for them this year and last year. This year the Royals are 12-0 when they score 4 more runs. Only the Brewers have a better record. They are 16-0. But here they are with their 4 runs, but down by 1 in the bottom of the 7th.
Okay, looks like he's breaking out a changeup against lefties now. Ball moving away from Moose.
1-2. Salvador Perez is now 6 for his last 12 since busting out of a slump during the road trip. Still 1-2. That closes the book on McGowan. He gave up 3 runs, 3 hits in his 6 innings. Still 1-2.
Hey, hitting's contagious. Moose just missed his pitch there.
That's 9 foul balls for Delabar against Perez and Moustakas. Shallow right, and Laurie, who is the third baseman, makes a catch. So you don't normally write down in your scorebook a pop to third in shallow right field, but that's what that was.
It's a good way to stay warm on a cool evening. If you're an infielder, third baseman running all the way out there. Of course, they shifted him around and made him really a second baseman.
Escobar with 1 out, nobody on. And Delabar is low, ball 1. Delabar made his big league debut against the Royals back in 2011 when he was pitching for the Mariners. That was 8 years after signing his first professional contract. He was 28 years old when he made his big league debut. So what a thrill for him last year to make it to the All-Star game. 1-2 on Escobar. Another player that spent some time in the independent leagues. Released by the San Diego Padres in 2008. Played in the independent leagues that year in 2009. And for a time had given up on his dream to be a major league pitcher. That's his first strikeout, and now 2 down in the 7th inning. It's one of those stories that could maybe end up as a movie. Remember The Rookie, the story about Jim Morris?
Yes.
In the spring of 2011, Steve Delabar was coaching high school baseball, and he was a substitute teacher. He was going to implement a throwing program for his players that year. So he tried it on himself first. And he realized he still had some velocity left. And a friend of his recommended him to a Mariners scout who gave him a tryout. And in the middle of the school day, the principal allowed Steve Delabar to pull the team's catcher out of class so that he could pitch for the Mariners scout. And he was throwing 94, 95 miles an hour. They signed him on the spot.
No way.
Sent him to A-ball, and that same year he shot right up to the big leagues.
Oh, that is like The Rookie.
Coming soon to a theater near you. And Delabar tried to chase down Dyson. And I don't care who he pulled out of class back in the spring of 2011. Nobody could run up the line like Gerard Dyson just did.
Could have went to a track guy anyway, but there you go. You don't have to be perfect with your bunt. When you have that kind of speed, and Delabar, he tried, and maybe he forgot about Dyson's speed, but look at this. He's by him in a heartbeat and hit him in the back. Dyson will take the knock, and that'll bring John Gibbons to the mound.
You got bats flying around, helmets, balls.
That hit him right between the Y and the S on his name.
Brett Cecil will come on to face Nori Aoki. Tying run on, 2 down, bottom of the 7th. Royals down by 1. He's 1 for 3. He's also one of the subjects of our sprint question for tonight. We asked you a few innings ago which offseason acquisition has made the largest impact so far. 72% going with Omar Infante, who had that 6 RBI game on Sunday and leads the Royals with 17 RBIs. Brett Cecil against Nori Aoki. And the Blue Jays expect that Dyson will take off. I think everyone expects at some point that Dyson will take off.
Okay. Get to second base if you can. Remember, Navarro hasn't had a lot of help this year. He's just throwing out 14% of runners, and he made a throwing error earlier on an Escobar stolen base. Brett Cecil, he'll cut his fastball, curveball, changeup. Not 92, maybe. See some of that, 87. Be throwing that curveball away from Aoki.
Dyson takes off, and Navarro's throw hits Dyson. So Dyson's been drilled twice in this inning, by throws, that is. So the tying run is in scoring position with 2 down as Dyson swipes his 5th.
Okay, great takeaway. Pretty good throw. Reyes wanted to reach out and catch that ball in front of the runner. If you can. He waited till the ball got in too tight on Dyson.
Two and 0. Now, on one hand, you can understand why John Gibbons would make this move here. Left-hand batter coming up. Bring a left-hand pitcher out of the bullpen, but hold everything. Look at Nori against lefties this year. And now the count is 3-0. And that batting average is the best of any hitter in the American League against lefties.
Okay, that'll work. Except right here, I don't know if Ned's going to let him swing 3-0. They need runners.
So a walk from the Blue Jays bullpen, and we just told you what a problem that's been over the past 11 games. So now the go-ahead run is on base. And here's the Royals' leading RBI guy, Omar Infante, 0 for 3 so far tonight.
Okay, right man, right spot. We already know Bautista's arm in right is really good. If he hits a liner on the ground out there, it could be a close play at the plate. Rasmus is not too shabby in center field. As far as his arm goes.
Ball 1.
Melky's got an average arm in left.
He is a .270 hitter altogether, but with runners in scoring position, that moves up to .333. One and one.
Okay, Aoki can get a pretty good lead at first. You see him. Encarnacion, he's behind him, but any gapper, Nori wants to score.
On the ground to third, and Laurie will just go to the bag to end the inning. So the Royals are back in the game. Salvador Perez hits a 2-run home run to the 8th. Toronto leads by 1. to you by Thoroughbred Ford. The selection is bigger and the prices are lower at Thoroughbred Ford. By Steel, find a helpful servicing Steel dealer near you. Visit steeldealers.com. And by Academy Sports, right stuff, low price every day. The suddenly hot Salvador Perez makes it a 1-run game with a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 7th. And now it'll be Aaron Crow in the 8th with the lower third coming up. Aaron is just one of 5 pitchers in the major leagues who has appeared in at least 10 games and has a 0 ERA. Brett Lawrie goes the other way, and Aoki is there for the out. Lawrie has really swung the bat well tonight. He is 2 for 4.
Heck yeah, he's wearing that low and away pitch.
So now Aaron Crow has pitched 8 1/3 innings. He's only given up 4 hits.
Aaron's doing a good job mixing his pitches and his speed this year. The 2-seam fastball he's staying on top of, and he's getting more movement out of it. It's coming down and in.
Rasmus beats the shift. The Royals had 3 infielders on the right side, but he gets it through Infante and Escobar, and he has a 2-hit game.
Crow will mix in a changeup occasionally, but he's got a really good slider he'll use against righties and lefties.
Chris Getz is grounded to second base twice and dropped down a sac bunt. And lines it to Moustakas, and no chance for a double play. 2 down.
Okay, no luck. Moose is in. I mean, I'm telling you that's a hot corner. Look at how the time it takes to get to Moose, and that's in slow motion. That's about 2 seconds. That got on him in a second. You know, in spring training, Moose, he gets in that cage where the machine is, and he turns that machine on, and he gets in about 5 feet in front of home plate where hitters hit off of that thing, and he gets his glove out there, and he works on his reaction time.
Ooh, Reyes, deep center field, and Dyson will run it down.
Oh, that's a huge play there. That ball was well struck.
3 line drive outs. Crow has another scoreless inning. Royals coming up in the bottom of the 8th, down by 1. Royals down by 1 as they come up in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they have the middle of the order beginning with Eric Hosmer against Brett Cecil, who got the last out of the 7th. That will land in the 6th row. Dustin McGowan went the first 6. He gave up a double to Gordon to begin the 7th inning. John Gibbons brought on Steve Delabar, who hit a 2-run home run, or allowed a 2-run home run to Salvador Perez, as Diaz is now at second base, and Reyes can't make the play on Hosmer, who's on with a leadoff single.
Makes Hosmer 2 for 8 lifetime off of Brett Cecil. Ball was scalded. Breaking ball, waited till it came down right in the middle of the plate. Great inside out swing. Billy's 2 for 7 off of Brett Cecil with a double.
Ooh, look out. Ball and bat flying to the right side. 0-1. So McGowan 6. He gave up 3 runs. Delabar 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 1 run. He allowed a 2-run home run, but 1 run was charged to him. And now Cecil. Down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's like he's coming in on Billy, staying in there.
Base hit left field. And now Hosmer is going to go first to third on Cabrera, and he is safe.
What a play. Great read there this time in the ball game. Hosmer rounded second base, didn't need Del Swaim to tell him to come on to third base because he's heads up. He is looking for that extra base. You got to be looking for that. That ball's not softly hit either. That ball was hit and Melky just stayed back on it, waits there, comes up, didn't expect him to go, and all of a sudden he double clutches and says, oh, he's going. That's a great play there. Nobody out, first and third. Royals on the comeback. They've got 5 so far this year comeback wins.
Jimmy Paredes will run for Billy Butler. Alex takes down and away, ball 1.
Okay, you love this. This is what you don't teach here. Look at him. He's saying, all right, you know what? Look, I may not be as fast as Dyson, but I can use my instincts to tell me to take that bag. That's beautiful. "44 come from behind wins last season the Royals had. That was second behind the Rangers. They had 50. A great characteristic that was instilled last year. Hopefully it carries over into this year. That tells them they're never out of any game.
Yes, according to third base umpire Bob Davidson. 1-2 on Alex.
Try to sweep that away from him again.
That one stayed up, and Alex is able to foul it away. Told you last inning about the control problems the Blue Jays bullpen has had over their past 11 games. Well, it's been allowing runs in their last 6 games. 18 runs allowed by the bullpen in the last 6 games. And that ball had some late movement to it. Fastball with some cutting movement. Caught the inside, and Alex is out number 1.
Oh, I think this one just snuck up on Alex. Thought it might have been in. Took a chance. He's out.
So first and third, one out, and John Gibbons is going to go to his closer, Sergio Santos, in a 1-run game. Runners at first and third with one out. Salvador Perez coming up, and in his last at bat he hit a 2-run home run to make it a 1-run game. But how about all the foul balls before the home run?
Oh, let's just watch Salvi. This is a hot hitter, folks. Watch him. He finally got one he liked. That's called a cookie, folks. Hitters light up when they see it over the middle. That was a beautiful AB.
After 6 foul balls.
All right, be careful. Now this guy, Santos, he can bring it. He's got a fastball, hard, slider, and a change.
And he goes with a slider for ball 1.
He's got some upper 90s action. But some other teams have gotten to him. He's got a 5.4 Ernie. 8 walks. Could be a little wild. But Salvi sees Hosmer down there at third, 90 feet away, with 1 out and a chance to tie this game up.
Grounded fair, and the game is tied.
Come on, Paredes.
Jimmy Paredes to third. Dale Swain is going to wave him home. And the throw comes in high. Salvador Perez is driven in the last 4 runs. And the Royals have the lead in the 8th inning.
Great to see Salvi back. He says, all aboard. Everybody jump on. Fellas, it's my turn now. That ball's right, upper in, inside, turns on it, just like his previous at-bat, except he didn't have to foul any off. He got this one right away. Cabrera gets over to it, got rid of it quickly, but he missed the first cutoff man, and that got Paredes all the way around from first base.
Still Still only one out, and a chance to add on as Santos is high, ball one with Mike Moustakas.
Okay, look at Swaim. Look at him. He's swimming upstream right there. I like that. He's saying, come on, get down that, score that run. And they need more. Get greedy. Salvi driving.
1-1 on Moustakas. And a couple of things factored in on that play. Number one, Cabrera is picking up a wet baseball. You could see the moisture glistening on the ball at the end of that replay. And being a left-hand thrower, Melky had to go into a full pivot before he set his feet. And as a result, wasn't able to get much on his throw. And Dale Swaim, if we've learned anything about him in less than a month as the Royals' third base coach, he is very much a go-for-it, aggressive third base coach when it comes to waving guys in.
Like it. With the speed they've got, send them. Take a chance. Love it. Remember, he coached third base in Boston. Swaim did. That's the toughest place out of any. With that short wall in left field. A lot of experience over there.
Blocked by Navarro. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blue Jays bullpen in the last 6 games, they've allowed 20 runs. Up the left field line, but slicing foul. Greg Holland getting ready for the top of the 9th inning. The Blue Jays will have Melky, Cabrera, Jose Bautista, and Edwin Encarnacion, so it will not be a walk in the park. An extra run here would not be the worst thing in the world.
No, got to get him in.
Full count. Moustakas has already walked twice tonight. And one of those walks coming after he had been down in the count 0-2. Got him with a slider. It's a tough spot, but it is a blown save for Santos. His second blown save in 7 opportunities. Coming on with runners at first and third and 1 out. And now Santos and Alcides Escobar hitless so far tonight, but he's been on base once and collected his 5th stolen base.
Tell you what, Santos is not going with that hard fastball. He's using his secondary pitches.
A little bit inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Escobar 1 for 3 in his career against Santos with a double.
That one got the corner. 1-2. 2-2. Santos spent time on the disabled list last year. In fact, this time last year he was on the DL and had right elbow surgery. Didn't take very long to figure out a big reason why the Blue Jays had such a disappointing year last season. Almost everybody was on the disabled list at one point. Santos was going to be the Blue Jays closer and ended up having to have an operation on his elbow. This time Escobar lays off the slider, and it's 3-2. He had shoulder surgery the year before that. Just inside for a walk. Santos thought it was strike 3.
So John Gibbons going to his closer a little early here in this inning to try to get it squared away, and it didn't work.
Dyson is 1 for 3 with a bunt single in the 7th inning. It was the Royals' 32nd infield hit of the year. That's tied, or at least was tied, for the major league lead with the Washington Nationals.
Slash and dash.
Below the knees, 2-0.
Before the season, Ryan, I knew, before that, last couple of years, they've always had a lot of infield hits because they got guys that can run and they hit the top half of the ball. But when Aoki showed up this year and Escobar, I'm thinking, they're going to really have a lot of infield hits, a lot of action.
Three 3-0 with Aoki on deck.
James Hoy, home plate umpire, he hasn't given the corners to either team all night.
Three and one on Dyson. Royals were down by 1 when the inning began. Hosmer singled, Butler singled, Perez hit a 2-run double. On the ground, right side, and that's through. Here comes Sal around third. Bautista's throw is not in time. The Royals lead by 2 in the 8th inning.
Perfect insurance run. Great pickup by Dyson. Santos falling behind 3-0, comes in 3-1 for a strike. Dyson knows another fastball's coming, and he stays on top of it. Dyson, much more under control with his bat, utilizing the top half of the ball with that speed, finding holes. But that was clutch there.
So more troubles for John Gibbons and his bullpen. The Royals jump all over it. They have scored 5 runs in the last 2 innings, and now they lead by 2.
when this one ends on Boulevard Royals Live. Jeff Montgomery and I will talk about the Royals offense. Just 2 hits through the first 6 innings, and then the floodgates open. Perez, Dyson and company getting it done. We'll break that one down. Talk about Vargas's night, the bullpen, reaction, and much more. Hey, guys, this is the first time those 4 runs for a win would not have been enough. They needed at least 6.
And they have 7 so far, and runner in scoring position for Nori Aoki as Esmil Rogers takes over in the 8th. Interesting, Rogers and Santos, who preceded him on the mound tonight, are both from the Diamondbacks organization and both started out as infielders. And when that didn't work out, moved to the mound, and neither one of those guys ended up helping out the Diamondbacks on the mound. They moved on to other organizations as pitchers.
Rogers, fastball, curveball, changeup.
One and 2. At the end of 6 innings tonight, the Royals had no runs, 2 hits. Or make that 2 runs on 2 hits. Up the middle into center field. And now Escobar will come around to score. The throw goes to third. Dyson is safe, and Aoki goes into second base. So just to add to the point, 2 runs, 2 hits for the first 6 innings. And now the Royals have 6 runs, 8 hits over the last 2 innings.
Oh, that top spin is working. Just keep it on the ground and find the holes. Escobar charging home. Heck yeah, they didn't just get insurance, they got double the insurance. Well, take it. 5+ runs in 8 of the last 13 games.
And now strike to Infante, and he's a base hit away from making this a non-save situation for the 9th inning. He is the 9th man to come up in this 4-run bottom of the 8th. 1-1. So Coleman warming up now, and you can see Greg Holland behind him. Holland is warmed up and ready to go if it's still a save situation. If the Royals get another run or 2, we'll see Coleman begin the 9th. Two and 1.
You know, Holland is not out there pulling against Infante, in case you're wondering. I mean, Holland wants to get in the game for a meaningful situation to save. As you see him, he's getting loose. But I had a locker mate named Lee Smith, and there was a few games where I would get some hits late in the game and knock in some runs and take him out of a save situation, and he would say after the game, "Hud, you're messing with my points, man." What's the deal? Yeah, what's the deal with that? His roll aid relief points.
There it is.
And he's messing with Hollins.
And now Aoki will be waved home on Melky Cabrera, and he will beat the throw. A 6-run bottom of the 8th inning. And for the 2nd consecutive game, the Royals have a season high for runs scored. 9 on Sunday and 10 tonight.
Wow. They need an inning like this at this time of the ball game. Nice. That's out over the middle. Short, compact swing. What new? And that base hit there, I mean, might have got him the Player of the Month award.
Well, he leads the Royals, Infante does, with 19 RBIs and now has 8 over his last 2 games. All of this started, by the way, with a single from Hosmer, who came around and scored the first run.
Clean.
Well, messing with his points, man.
Yes. Hey, Holland's saying, hey, look, boys, go right ahead. Stay hot.
Two and two. Change of expression for John Gibbons just a couple of innings ago. His team was in front 5-2. Royals got 2 in the bottom of the 7th to make it 5-4, and now 6 in the bottom of the 8th. 7 of the 10 runs charged to his bullpen. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sergio Santos came on in what was still a save situation, as the Royals had runners at first and third and 1 out. The Royals scoring those 7 runs against Steve Delavar, Brett Cecil, Sergio Santos, and Esmiel Rogers, who's on the mound right now. Hosmer, the 10th man to bat in the inning. Infante runs and into shallow right center field. Bautista coming in, and that is the end of a long inning. A huge inning. 6 runs. And after being down by 3, the Royals lead by 5.
All aboard! It don't matter who, you score them.
And Salvador Perez, who has driven in 4 runs tonight. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery, director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Joe Lavero. Our associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman. The producer of Royals Live is Brian Shapiro. Melky Cabrera, and the Royals were running on him like a fast team would run on a catcher. Dale Swaim was challenging Cabrera's arm all throughout that 6-run bottom of the 8th inning. At the plate tonight, Cabrera has tripled and doubled. He's driven in 2, and he's established a Blue Jays record for the most hits in March and April with 41. Down in the count 1-2 against Lewis Coleman. Melky Cabrera's now hit safely in 25 of the Blue Jays' first 26 games. 2-2. Foul tip and a strikeout.
You're doing something, you strike him out.
Ball one to Jose Bautista. He homered back in the first inning against Jason Vargas, giving him 8 on the year, 3rd in the league. 2-0.
That pitch right there split the dish in two. Belt high.
Two and one.
Looked identical.
And a little bit inside, 3-1 on Bautista. Vargas went 6 1/3, gave up 5 runs. Herrera 2/3 of an inning. Crow 1 inning. And now Coleman in the 9th. And he'll walk Bautista. And that's Bautista's 28th walk this year to lead the league.
Coleman's coming right after him. He don't care home runs or not. He's doing all he can. Boy's not helping him a whole lot.
Encarnacion is hitless, 0 for 4. Oh and 1. You know, it's really amazing, these last 2 hitters for the Blue Jays, Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion, how they turned their careers around. Bautista in 2009 hit 13 home runs. The next year he hit 54. And the year after that, 43. He had never hit more than 16, and that spiked to 54.
Wow.
Edwin Encarnacion in 2011 hit 17 home runs, and in 2012 hit 42, and then 36 last year. Oh my. Well, we were talking about those insurance runs as the Royals came up with 6 in the bottom of the 8th. And Edwin Encarnacion hits his 2nd home run this year. It's his first hit of the night. And now it's 10-7 in the 9th.
Well, he's challenging guys. He's going right after him. That's exactly what Ned Yost would like for him to do. However, when you're challenging guys like that and you're throwing balls, down the middle of the plate, that can happen. If the game was a lot closer, he would have pitched a little bit differently. But getting back to their home runs, you can find it. You can find your swing, especially later in your career. You can find that, and you can believe that you're the power hitter. And I mean, there's not a more stringent, there's not a better drug testing program than any sport than baseball. So you might go, oh, he's using
juiced up in some way.
Yeah, but neither one of these guys have ever had any of that. So you can develop into the power hitter later in your career because pitch recognition, confidence, your swing, you're a big leaguer, now you're getting paid, you're like, okay, now it's time for me to show. And they have done that. You got to credit them.
We're one base runner away from this becoming, well, it's a save situation now, the 3-run game. That into the right field corner, hooking, and that is a foul ball, just barely. So we're one runner away. If the inning had started at 10-7, it would be a save situation, but once the inning begins, once the tying run is on deck, it becomes a save situation. John Gibbons isn't sure about that call by first base umpire Mark Wegner. So he's going to go out and talk this over.
I knew it had the distance off the bat. All right, let's see this now. See the ball? Now you see it? Ooh, now you don't. Looks like, to me, by losing sight of the ball, that looked like it stayed fair.
We've already had one call reversed tonight. That was early in the game on a play at first base. The Royals challenged and won. So the umpires, Bob Davidson, the crew chief, on your right, Mark Wegner, the umpire, on your left. And it's the umpire who made the call and the crew chief. They're the two that go to the headsets. Now, I just saw a replay up on Crown Vision, and it appeared that something may have flashed across the foul pole, and they are going to call it a foul ball. So that's the benefit of several angles during instant replay, because the first one we showed you, it looked like the ball disappeared behind the foul pole. Now watch this one. Yep. Now that one, you can see the ball go in front of the foul pole, and you're just talking about a slightly different angle from one camera to another.
Think about what the umpire has to look at, Mark Wegner.
Now into center field, and Dyson makes a play, so one out away from the Royals taking game one.
I mean, it took us 5 replay looks at it in slow motion, and we weren't even sure to. I thought it was a home run.
Juan Francisco takes a strike. 0 for 4 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. Royals were down 5-2 when they batted in the bottom of the 7th inning. They had 2 runs on 2 hits in the first 6 innings against Dustin McGowan, and erupted for 8 runs on 9 hits in the 7th and 8th innings. Game over. So a come from behind win for the Royals. As for the second straight game, they have a season high for runs scored as they come up with 10 tonight. 8 in the last 2 innings, and beat Toronto 10-7. So a KCW, as KC from the Royals Hall of Fame will hang that up on the facade. And the Royals improved to 7-3 at Kauffman Stadium this year.
Beautiful thing. 6th comeback of the year in the early season, but also gaining confidence late in games off opponents that they can get to their bullpen and a closer. So that's a huge win for them to start the series. Casey having had a hard time sticking in there with that rain out there tonight.
Royals now 13-0 when they score 4 or more runs, and they are 1-0 when they score 10 or more runs.
That's right.
Big game guy tonight was Salvador Perez.